So hello, Aris.
Hello.
Yeah. So at first, I want to ask you just some like a very basic stuff. I just want to ask you to tell us just your name, age, where do you live, and what is your in-game like a main character name?
All right, like my real name is Jan. My char is called Ares Hunter. It's on Legacy. It's like my main char, and yeah, I'm from Germany, basically. That's it.
Okay. What's your age, if we can ask?
Oh yeah, the 26.
26. All right. Yeah, so for the start, I wanted to ask you about your beginnings on Medivia or on Tibianic, actually, as it was called back then. Uh, is Ares Hunter your first character, or there were others?
Technically my oldest character is my knight, Wasser, which like reached level 70, and then I got really tired of it. I made like Sark. I think then my druid, and actually the last one is Arus.
Oh, okay, okay. What year did you
So,
start?
oh, I'm not quite sure. There's like quite a while. Um,
Well, it was
some
obviously
years ago.
okay. It was obviously before the task system, before the all
Yeah,
the
task is
custom. Yeah.
for anti-bot client.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so pretty long time ago.
Yeah, it has a while.
Okay. If you can recall like reasons, why did you start? Like where did you found about the game and stuff? Basically, why did you
Oh,
start?
I think I found out about the server on Otsurf list or something. Yeah, on Otsurf list, and
Okay.
that's like basically why I started it.
Okay. If you can recall, what was the amount of population and basically what was the community personality back then?
The person like um, it was like it was definitely smaller, probably like closer to 200, 300 people online maybe at best. I don't really remember because I started alone here, like not knowing anybody, so I didn't really pay much attention to most stuff. Of course, like most of it was not relevant for me.
Yeah.
Um, oh.
Okay. As we already learned about you, you didn't play only paladin. Back then, you played three different professions actually. So
Yeah,
my question is now, what from those four is your favorite? If you can just pick one, and on which one you feel most comfortable.
actually, I feel like a lot like I started playing the server when like I'm not sure if you know it, a netbook, which is basically like a smaller laptop,
Yeah.
which has pretty bad performance. So I actually started here like having a ping, not well, a ping was fine, but the main problem was more like that I didn't have uh, well my how should I call it my my frames per second were like five or four,
Okay.
three.
So
So
it's
that
pretty
was
low.
really bad. Yeah, it was really bad. So playing a mage was not an option, like druid or anything really. So I always stick to paladin or knight, and I have to admit, paladin is the best.
Okay. Okay. And about what about these custom like bows, ammunition, and other stuff that were made for the paladin? You think it's enough balance right now between all the vocation?
That's quite a hard one. Um, because I think like in the early game, it's paladin is obvious a good one, but like especially like at level 200 plus, paladin starts to be like really bad.
Yeah, kind of.
Like compared to other vocations, like I'm not saying anything about the balance. I have my own opinions there. I think paladins could use a buff. I would prefer to see like a buff paladin wise for like lower rune damage but higher bolt damage because it's sort of like sometimes paladin feels like a tanky mage, which is bad.
Yeah, yeah,
I think like yeah, it's not cool.
yeah. All right, it makes sense. It makes sense. Which from those four vocations, what is the one that like your least favorite one that you wouldn't really play now?
So
Okay.
I don't understand the vocation much. I made a druid on Spectrum,
Uh-huh.
but never really understood mage
All right, all right.
like Zog.
Okay, so let's move on a bit. I want to talk with you about the guilds, especially since your character is strongly associated with the White Rose Guild. Was that your first big guild or not?
Yeah, that was my first big guild. Like I met one of my earliest friends here was Lemon,
Ah,
and
yeah,
yeah, he introduced me to White Rose.
okay. So if you can like recall and just talk a bit about it. How was the White Rose back then? Like, what I don't know, maybe made it make you stick to it? How are the people? How was the atmosphere inside the guild?
Um, it was very friendly. Like we all like even though we didn't like know each other, most of us like from other games before, other servers, we just like stuck together and we're like friends. We're just having like fun with each other. There was lots of trolling each other, which sometimes didn't end good. Most of the time it ended good. It was really fun, like
All right.
people that help each other and
So when you joined White Rose, it was already created, or it was just like being developed?
uh, I think well it was already created. I'm not like a founding member technically, uh, but it was like still being developed, I guess.
Okay. So if you remember, who was the leader, like the original leader of the White Rose?
I think that was Thor the God, I think was his name. He was a German as well. I never like really talked a lot with him because he was like sort of retired most of the time. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's say over all those years with White Rose, who would you say was your favorite guildmate from the guild?
Whew, that's a hard one.
Of course,
Like
not the last one.
I I know my lemon boy. He's always been good to me. Lotsa, of course, was always there. Apollo Stile.
Oh yeah, the Colin.
Um, yeah, he's always fun guy to be around. Uh, yeah, that these were always good.
Okay. And the opposite, who was the one that you would say you didn't really like to participate with?
Well, it was we had some foul members that weren't exactly our style.
If you could pick up the name,
Um,
if you remember, of course.
like probably maybe Roxwort or something.
Okay. And
He
why?
started. He like I never like people that cause problems because we like in White Rose we actually like they're very careful about like being friends with most of the people, like not causing problems for others. It was like the spirit of the group, in my opinion. So people that cause problems were always a problem for me as well.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. So after all those years of White Rose being alive and active and sticking to the RPG profile, sort of, now it's practically gone. And I want to
Yeah.
ask you if, in your opinion or to your knowledge, was it natural, or something happened inside the guild that caused its slow collapse?
Well, we lost like also internal problems, like the guild that split up, and then like Spectrum came out, Truck quitted it, Samuel quitted. It got like really bad at some point, and then the guild went just like retired.
Okay, so was there someone that you think, from time perspective, could like stand up and make himself or be chosen to be the new leader that to keep the guild together, or you think it just had to happen?
Uh, I'm not sure. Like, I had like also a time where I was retired a bit where that happened. I'm not sure. Like, we thought about several times to rebuild it, but at the moment there are some problems. Like, the guild's leader system is a bit bugged, so I think we can't like actually fight sort of players at the moment. We are working on it. Like, like we're thinking about rebuilding it, but we need like we're missing like the active old core of it. Yeah.
Okay, that was actually one of my future questions. I wanted to ask if you think it is realistic to make such a guild once again from scratch during like a current Medivia community, and if you think it would be possible, what would it take? Like what would be the demands to make such a guild again?
Hmm. Um, I think it's at the moment not really possible because like the community has changed so much. I guess you would need like a lot of like you would need like a core of like let's say 5, 6 neutrals that are well known for being like cool guys, nice guys, and then you could probably start working around this. I think at the moment, like I don't know, we in Retros like we actually got always really lucky when we did take new members. Like almost none of the members actually caused problems. I feel like at the moment this is like changed. Like many people are causing problems.
Okay. I noticed you now are in some kind of guild that I didn't really saw before. Is it,
Yeah.
yeah, what is that guild?
Collective used to be like a group of friends from Old White Rose, basically. Um, I will soon move to another guild. Uh, yeah, which is like we're trying to make like a neutral guild again. Not sure. Like I don't think it will ever get to a White Rose amount
Okay.
success in this term.
Uh, from all of the aspects that made the White Horse the guild, it was what do you think made White Horse so different from other similar like in style guilds?
I think we're always like a guild. Like 90% of the people in White Rose back then didn't care for their level. They were like they were like they had no problem like standing like 3 days in a row in front of your house, just like talking to you, having fun with you, supporting you on like troll hunts as with level 80 chars or something. Um, I think yeah that like we don't care what level we are because like we can afford because back then nobody really like did kick any White Rose members or decayed them, and so we never really needed to like fight really. So it was like yeah, it's really relaxed. It was like a good time, and
Okay.
I think the difference is that it was like more respected for some reason.
All right. You mentioned before the spectrum that the White House collapse was around the time when the spectrum was also announced. So let's talk about Spectrum then. The day it was announced, what were your initial thoughts, if you remember? Did you think it was a good move or bad move for the server? And were you concerned about the legacy future?
I was not too happy about Spectrum because I'd never thought like Spectrum would be like really successful. I knew it would be like successful in the first time, and like at this point, Legacy had like low online count as already. So I was thinking like it will take more people away from Legacy, and we will have even fewer people on here. So yeah, Legacy Spectrum was never my. I never really liked that server.
Did you play it?
I made a couple of weeks after the server was launched. I made a Druid, and I had some fun there. I was like, I think I got to level 45 on my Druid. I helped to heal demons at level 36 or something. I was a backup healer there. Not sure why. I had some fun times there, but I just don't know. Never really
Okay.
started the same.
So what do you think about the current situation and Destiny coming up in quite some near future?
I think Pendulum was a good idea because like to split this part of the community off. Um, I'm not sure about Destiny. I think it is needed at some point, but I think they should have like waited a bit more instead of like bringing two servers like 2 months. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
basically my opinion on it. Also, like server location is maybe not the MILF for some players, I heard. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't really know.
okay. What about when Spectrum was released? What about Legacy? Because as far as we remember, for sure, it had, as you mentioned, a very low amount of people online back then, and at some point it was like close to 10, 20, 30 people at a day, at the peak of the day
Yeah.
online. Did you play Legacy back then?
From time to time, yes. It was a strange time. Yeah, I did not play it too much, but I did play it a bit. I was a bit retired. I came back when it was like at 50, 60, then I played a lot.
Okay.
Um, it was weird. If you compare it to now, like HMMs being 2K, and you were lucky if you got any for
Yeah. So compare it the situation like from before the Spectrum or from the launch Spectrum and from days current days. Which of those three like periods for Legacy is your favorite, and which one of those do you think is the best?
I really like the old Legacy, like when it had like around 500 people before Spectrum came out. That was always like a super fun time. I don't know. I don't know why I exactly like this time, but I really like that time. Maybe it was because of White Rose was still active at that time.
Yeah, I was thinking actually because at the older days, maybe it's also because I was the new player, but I noticed that for me personally, I always felt that the old Legacy had much more character, much more personality. And
Yeah.
yeah, one day I was thinking what might be the reason for that kind of feeling, or you know, and I thought that it might have to something to do with the constant name changing of the people, because I remember back then
Yes.
there were some players, for example, like you, that always like played the same character, the same nickname, and after a
Hmm.
time it starts to like stand out from the crowd. And do you think it might be one of the reasons like that the older Legacy had basically more character? Would you agree with that, or not?
Yeah, it had for sure more character. Like, you were like, you did know the people who you were talking to, and I don't know, it had a lot more. Yeah, I think personality describes it pretty good because, like, yeah, maybe because of the name changes. But at the moment, like it's like even if you talk with like especially let's say some high-level mages, they have name changed like 50 times, and you actually have no idea what like who are these jars. Like I'm not sure if you remember names like Powerhouse Insane and Alva,
Yeah, I do.
William McGregor.
Oh yes,
Like back
yes.
then, you always remembered like, okay, he has name changed to I don't know, whatever. But now it's so confusing. Double name changes. You don't even know what char is which anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's move forward. Uh, as far as I know, you played, which I would call during the one of the most controversial periods of time for Medivia, for variety of reasons. And I want to talk about the Doyle, community manager who
Ah,
found himself fired in a sense. He was in
yeah.
a center of few of these controversies. I remember, he was picked from a player base to become a community
Mhm.
manager. What are your thoughts on that?
The Doyle topic is like always a bit complicated because there are so many people with strong feelings about it. I think the Doyle did like the good part sometimes. Like I remember we had events and stuff. Like we would do events, just like now not anymore the case since he's gone. Like just did some events. It was usually like fun. Now we have like raids sort of that take this place. I think he for sure spent a lot of time making the server better, but you can't. I think I can't deny that he was probably not the right person for getting such power. I think like as a developer like now Kellan is, he would have done lots of good stuff, maybe, but yeah, he really messed up a bit this chaos.
Okay, so do you think it was a mistake to pick a player like a community manager from the player base?
I'm not sure. Like, I don't think it's a real mistake because right now Madragor is also like sort of known by the community. So I think it's like pretty much impossible to pick a person that like nobody knows. Um, I think like you have to like a good like as Iron, you have to like be really careful about what your game masters do in game. And yeah, I think you can should maybe pick some players in game, but yeah,
Okay.
it's a hard topic.
Oh yes. So seeing Doyle like a good and bad influence on the server, because we can agree he had both of those. Um, from the perspective of time, do you think he did more good or bad for the server overall?
Ooh, that's hard. I'm not like actually 100% sure like what he did all design. Um, it's really hard to say. I think it's lots of good, but the things that he did bad were like simply unacceptable. There was no way he was going to keep his game master after that. Like
Okay.
did a lot of good, but the bad stuff he did was like really bad.
If you could recall, like you mentioned the events, a lot of sorts of the events. If you could recall like one that you enjoyed the most, which one was that?
There was once an event back then with White Rose and Ninth Order. He asked us if we want to test an event. So he basically led us to this event. Monsters had no loot, and I think so gave no XP. And we were like lots of people, but it was like really hard, so we almost all died. Like nobody of us died, but I remember like we were at the last parts and we were like sharing out HMMs and our stalkers were making HMMs in the background, so we had stuff to shoot. It was lots of fun.
Okay, sounds good. And if you could also recall some of the bad things he did, which one do you think, which one of those you remember the most, like a bad thing he did?
Mm, I remember that like the part where he summoned heroes on Ice Boat. Um, what else was there? I think there's still the accusation that he like used his GM account to be like invisible in Peninsula, and like he had bought another char to fight in a war, which is bad. Um, and he used that char to spot when an enemy was inside this room XPing and locked in his char instant UE. Um, yeah, I think that are like only two very bad things. Not mentioning the account buying of that war char and being on the war team as a game master.
All right. Okay. Let's move a bit further. So, over all those years, Tibianic finally developed itself into Medivia. There are more and more like a solely Medivian aspects of the game. We had, for example, arena, task system, new areas, fractions, skinning system. Recently, we got mining and farming system, and we also have a lot of other things to do, such as guilds, grinding monsters, team hunts, the social aspect of the game, the trading, epic quest. You can make a pretty long list. From all those game aspects, what is your favorite?
Oh, I really like the new factions that they don't block each other because I picked really bad factions. Factions were released and couldn't do anything basically. Epic quests were always like too far for me. I never really tried to solve stuff. I really like the factions, the new ones. They are great, in my opinion. For most of the parts, boss tasks not good at.
Okay. So, what is the least favorite of the aspects of the game for you?
At the moment,
Yeah.
it's probably the boss task because I'm so stuck in like most of the factions, and it's really frustrating because I got did I think for whole the ramen faction in days with like not much sleep and did like put much work in it, and then like now I'm like stuck since a month waiting for a boss that we don't know where it spawns.
Okay.
And if it spawns, so basically it's like the factions are good, but like there are hints missing. Like there are no books. Sometimes there's just sometimes nothing. That it's pure guessing.
Okay. So, would you change this aspect or just delete it? If you could have the power to do something about it.
I think I would change it a bit, like put out some books. Maybe like I'm not sure what to do with a boss task because that's very hard to balance. But for sure, I would put out like more like I would create some books. Let's say like where stuff is hiding and where you can find stuff that I think would help a lot and keep people like interested in looking for books and stuff, which yeah is nice.
Okay. Um, so, since those years you started, uh, you had to collect and witness pretty good number of memories and happenings. What is your like a favorite, let's say, moment in the game you witnessed, or story or a memory?
Oh, there are so many, but I really liked my annulator, which is also like, which a friend of mine has uploaded, so I can always look like a noob for everybody. Um, I really liked my old widow task. That was really lots of fun. I especially love like the times with friends on TeamSpeak, all the singing we always did. The mana sitting at White Rose Guild Hall stuff were fun. And especially like just talking to people was awesome all the time. So many nice people on the server.
All right. If you can recall some of the most frustrating moments of your career on Tibianic or Medivia, if you recall some of like the most making you angry moment, which would it be?
There were some players that really managed to get me a bit angry. With like always like in relation with White Rose, because they were like trying to hunt White Rose for like just making me angry. There was this one day where I decided to hunt Orc Fortress, died, went back, died, went back, died.
Oh my god,
Then
3 times actually.
Yeah, 3 times. I always got blessed in between, but it wasn't a fun hunt. And after the third time, I asked a friend to get my loot. That day was not good. Didn't really like that. But otherwise, like most stuff is pretty fun.
Okay, I just reminded myself. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you made 50 levels on heroes at Frozen Den.
Yeah, that spawn was awesome.
Why? Why the hell would you do that?
um, I just really like to kill heroes. Like I did hunt probably for like lots of levels as well. The Edron spawn heroes, like the 2x or 3x, I'm not sure. And then I one day like was told like there is a way better spawn for this, and I was
Okay.
amazed. So I just went there and yeah, I kept sticking there. And then I decided to make this 10k Oz loot back in rares there. So yeah, I really liked the time there. It was always fun and relaxing.
Okay, that's cool. Do you remember what was your like a final profit count?
Oh, I don't remember, but like a screenshot on the forums where I like me and friends just spread out all the loot in a room in White Rose Guild Hall and made a screenshot of it. It probably was like 1kk or something like that, I guess. I'm
All
not
right,
sure.
sounds crazy, but congratulations on that.
Yeah, I wish I had kept some light rings. For some reason, they are all gone. I have no idea where they are,
Okay,
but maybe I find them one day.
moving on, I want to ask you about the wars on the server because throughout the years, Medivia witnessed a loads of wars on the Spectrum, on the Legacy, and I noticed that
Oh,
war topics always cause a lot of confusion, controversy, and they bring a lot of flame to them. And you seem to be the
hmm.
person to do it right, or the most right, if you can ever make such things 100% perfectly. So, why you?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, so
I
why you doing those topics?
I really like the statistics, and it made me like back then there was like almost no way to find out like how a battle went unless you could ask somebody in the team. Before, like it was like for Medivia stats source online. So I decided to make like a topic to create it. I talked with Lotra, what was guild leader back then. He made one before me actually, I think, and he allowed me to steal his like design of the thread.
Hmm.
So I took that and improved it a bit, and since then I really like doing it. But it really like taking lots of time. So I had to stop my term because one of the war parties didn't want me to do it, and yeah, my
Okay.
legacy one, I think. Also,
So, as I'm sure you can confirm, the war topics cause a lot of emotions, and it's a roller coaster of the flame, insults, and misinformation. Uh, how easy or how hard it was to deal with it?
it's sometimes really confusing. Um, like the worst part is like one team says he is with their enemies, and the enemies say no, he's not with us. Then you never know like what to do exactly because you can't tell like okay, you are lying and at him. So that's always like a hard decision to make. Like, do I count him or not? And then there are always these people that are like, you are like biased, you're on the side of whatever. So yeah, that's also always a bit annoying.
Yeah. Um, do you have maybe like if you could implement one idea about the war topics or like a war, let's say war news, or basically information about the current wars, uh, what would you implement to make this easier or to change it?
Mm, I would really like some changes to the forums because like the forum editing is very limited. Like you can do names, colors, but if you want to add like a hyperlink to the profile pic to the profile of the player, you can't like make it colorful anymore. I would really like to see like some more options like making stuff on the forums look more clean and more easy, nice. That would be great.
Okay.
I think also like at the moment some stuff is really hard to make. I'm not sure like how it is with YouTube things. I think they don't work at the moment, but could be wrong.
All right. Um, what do you think about the fact that the server is developing into its own game? How do you like the custom content? And do you think it's a good step or a bad step?
I like some new content. I think like the old content is mostly like figured out, which was like really boring. Like the times before custom stuff was there, it was like it, like basically like 3 good spawns, I think, or 4, maybe Demona, Peninsula, Stone, maybe Tomb, and Poi. So it's really fun to have it a bit more spread out, like going hydras and stuff. Like people at the beginning, people thought like nether spiders were like really bad. Nobody did hunt them, and then it turned out to be like an awesome hunting spot. So I really like that, like exploring stuff, making new strategies for new hunting spots. That's fun.
All right. To slowly wrap up the interview, um, if you would have the power to just bring straight away one idea, one proposal into the game, uh, what what would it be?
I think one of my favorite poses just got like sort of implemented. The GFB nerf was a really good idea in my opinion. Uh, One thing that I would change. I would probably change some skinning stuff. Like lava eggs that you need like third skinning knife for it. I think like stuff like that would be really nice for new people starting here. Like get a skinning knife and be like starting to get comfortable with the skinning aspect of the server and making some money at lavas. I think that would be fun. Also, I would like to see recovery keys for accounts. So that would probably be my next proposal.
Okay, okay, that sounds very nice. Um, uh, if for the end of the interview, if you could, if you would recommend some person for the next, for example, interview, that do you think would provide valuable content, who would you recommend?
Oh, that's like really hard. I think you should be either like a high level player, 300 plus, I guess, is high level now, or maybe like some war player from Pendulum or something. Maybe it would be like I think a super cool idea would be like to have 2 war players on here, like from opposite teams on Pendulum or something. I think that would be like a duo interview that could be like really fun.
Yeah, that actually sounds very good, very good. I
Just
hope
like
you won't mind if one day, just perhaps, I would steal the idea.
no, no, do it. I would really like to see it because, like, I think it's always like I always like was like really fascinated because all these people that fight each other on these servers like since years, they are actually pretty like they will flame each other to hell on the forums, probably in game as well. but they are really really nice and like actually friends on TeamSpeak.
Okay, yeah, that sounds very interesting. I personally often didn't understood the reasons behind some flames towards some people or some reasons for the wars. So yeah, it might make an interesting topic for the interview. So yeah,
Yeah,
thank you for the idea for sure.
no problem. I would really love to see it.
All right. So for the anything like for the last question, is there anything you think you want to address, maybe some topic we didn't cover and you would really like to talk about, or anything?
Oh, like maybe the changes to the community that are happening. Um, it's gotten really weird. I think it's really great that there are so many new players. I really love to see all the cities busy and people just messaging others, and it's so much fun. But sometimes, like, some of the new players are really like weird, and I guess there are some like we know there are some rules to play the server Tibia sort of, and some of the rules, I think some of the players are not like they don't know these rules. Like I've in the last weeks I've never been like my spawn has never been invaded that much ever before. There are like level 20s that keep invading my spawn, and at some point it gets a bit annoying. So I really hope like community grows and learns more about the game and like about its people. That would be fun in the server.
Okay. Um, uh, Anything? Anyone that you want to say hello to, or any
Oh,
shoutouts? Yeah.
oh, so many people. Let's see. Potato, of
You
course.
can to pick only three. Only three.
Only three. Okay, let me see. Three. That would be like Robert for sure. You will know which Robert I mean.
All right.
Lemon, of course, and all the others.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah, yeah.
guys.
That's a
But I
cheating.
mentioned you all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it can be. Okay, Ares. Thank you for the interview.
Thanks a lot. It was lots of fun.